Look around you, the screen you're staring into, the people you trust, the very thoughts you believe are your own. How can you be sure? How can you be certain that your choices, your desires, your fears are truly yours? There is a hidden world operating just beneath the surface of our everyday interactions. A world of invisible forces and psychological warfare. This is not a fantasy. This is not paranoia. This is the realm of dark psychology. And for the next 3 hours, you will not be a passive observer. You will be a student. You will learn to see the unseen. You will learn to feel the strings before you are tied down by them. This is a journey into the danger that lives in plain sight. So, what exactly is dark psychology? It is the study of human nature in its most raw and at times its most predatory form. It is the deliberate use of psychological principles to manipulate, control, and coerce, to influence others in ways that serve the manipulator's agenda, often at the target's expense. Think of the human psyche as a fortress. Most people interact at the gate with honesty and mutual respect. The dark psychologist, however, does not knock. They find the hidden weaknesses in the walls, the unguarded postern gate of your insecurities, the loose stone of your past traumas. They slip inside, often without you ever knowing the fortress has been breached. The ultimate goal is not always to cause harm. Sometimes the goal is simply to win, to gain power, to secure affection, to ensure compliance. But the effect is always a violation. It is the theft of your autonomy, the corruption of your free will. And the danger is this: by the time you realize you are in a cage, the door may already be locked. We will begin by mapping the terrain of this shadow world. We will identify the key principles that make manipulation possible. Principles like emotional exploitation, cognitive deception, and behavioral conditioning. These are the foundation upon which all dark tactics are built. Understand the foundation, and you will never see human interaction the same way again. Let us begin with one of the most insidious weapons in the dark psychologist's arsenal. An attack not on your body, not on your possessions, but on your very perception of reality. This is gaslighting. The term comes from a play where a husband manipulates his wife into believing she is going insane. He dims the gaslights, then tells her she is imagining it. This is the core of the technique. It is a systematic process of making you doubt your own memory, your perception, and ultimately your sanity. It does not sound violent, but it is a form of psychological violence. It starts small. I never said that. You're remembering it wrong. You're so sensitive. These are the first tiny cracks in the foundation of your mind. Then it escalates. They will deny events that you clearly remember. They will twist your words until you no longer trust what you meant to say. They will recruit others, creating a false consensus against your experience. Everyone thinks you've been acting strange lately. The world around you begins to feel unstable, untrustworthy. The goal is to make you so reliant on their version of reality that you become psychologically dependent. You stop trusting your own mind, and you start looking to them for the truth. You have handed them the keys to your perception, and they now control what you believe is real. If gaslighting is an attack on reality, then the next tactic is an attack on your very sense of self-worth. It is a 1-2 punch of emotional extreme. Love bombing, followed by devaluation. Imagine this. You meet someone and it is a whirlwind. They are perfect. The attention is constant and intense. Flattery, gifts, future planning, a sense of destiny. You are told you are soulmates. This is the love bomb. It is not genuine intimacy. It is a strategic, overwhelming display of affection designed to hook you, to create addiction. You are placed on a pedestal. But a pedestal is a very small, very precarious place to stand, because the moment you fail to live up to their idealized image, which you inevitably will, the fall is devastating. This is the devaluation phase. The warmth vanishes. It is replaced by coldness, criticism, and withdrawal. The very person who worshipped you now treats you with contempt. The contrast is psychologically jarring. Your brain, craving the return of that initial high, will make you desperate to earn it back. You will start to change your behavior. You will walk on eggshells. You will blame yourself. This cycle, the bomb, the devaluation, repeats. And with each cycle, your self-esteem is eroded. You become convinced that the problem is you, that if you could just be better, perfect, you could regain that initial love. You are now in a psychological trap of your own making, engineered by them. Some of the most effective tactics are quiet, leveraging our most fundamental human needs, the need to belong and the need to be good. First, guilt tripping. This is emotional blackmail disguised as morality. The manipulator implies that your actions, or even your thoughts, are causing them pain. Fine, go out with your friends. I'll just sit here alone. Don't worry about me. The message is clear. Your happiness is the cost of their suffering. To be a good person, you must sacrifice your own needs. It is a way to control you by weaponizing your own conscience. Then there is social proof. This is the everyone is doing it principle, weaponized. The manipulator creates an illusion of consensus to make you question your own judgment. The whole team agrees with me. All your friends think you're overreacting. It preys on our deep-seated fear of being an outcast. When faced with a unified front, we are more likely to doubt our own perception than to challenge the group. It is a psychological shortcut that dark psychologists exploit to bypass your critical thinking. All this time we have been in the shadows. We have identified the predators and their tools. Now we step into the light. Knowledge without application is useless. This third act is your manual for self-defense. This is how you fortify the fortress. The first and most crucial step is recognition. You must learn to see the manipulation as it is happening. This requires a new kind of awareness. Start by listening to your own body. Your intuition is your first alarm system. Do you feel a constant sense of anxiety around a specific person? A knot in your stomach? A feeling of confusion after speaking with them? Do not dismiss these feelings. They are data. They are your psyche telling you that something is wrong. Next, analyze the language. Listen for patterns we have discussed. The reality denial of gaslighting, the extreme flattery of love bombing, the emotional coercion of guilt trips. Start a mental log. Write it down if you have to. Corroborate your reality. Finally, identify the patterns of behavior. Is there a cycle of reward and punishment? Are you constantly working to appease them? Are your boundaries constantly being tested and violated? See the pattern, not just the individual incidents. The pattern reveals the intent. Defense, fortifying your psyche. Once you recognize it, you must defend against it. Your primary shield is your boundaries. A boundary is not a request. It is a non-negotiable line you draw for yourself. It is not, please stop criticizing me. It is, if you continue to speak to me in that critical tone, I will end this conversation. And then you must be prepared to follow through. Every time. Boundaries are enforced by actions, not words. Your second shield is critical thinking. Question everything, especially flattery and fear. Ask yourself, what is this person's goal in saying this? What do they want me to feel? What do they want me to do? Slow down the interaction. Do not be rushed into decisions. Manipulation thrives on pressure and emotion. Critical thinking introduces logic and delay. Your sword is your voice. Learn to name the tactic calmly. It feels like you are gaslighting me by denying that happened. That statement feels like a guilt trip. Naming the game takes away its power. It exposes the mechanism. It tells the manipulator that you are not an easy target. Let us now arm you for direct engagement. You have learned to recognize the patterns. You have felt the subtle shift in the air when a conversation turns from an exchange into an extraction. Now, you must learn to stand your ground. Your survival in this psychological landscape depends on two fundamental tools, the shield of critical thinking and the sword of your own voice. And perhaps your most resilient is critical thinking. This is not merely thinking hard. It is a deliberate, disciplined process of turning your mind into a fortified citadel. When you are in the presence of a potential manipulator, you must become a psychologist of your own experience. You must observe, analyze, and decipher the interaction in real time. This begins with three pivotal questions. Internalize them. Let them become your automatic response to any statement that feels too flattering, too fearful, or too pressing. First, what is this person's strategic goal in saying this? Every word from a manipulator is a move in a hidden game. Your job is to deduce the game. Are they complimenting you excessively? The goal is not to make you feel good. It is to create a debt of gratitude, to soften your defenses, to make you receptive to a future request. This is the prelude to the love bomb. Are they spreading a rumor or instilling fear? The goal is to create chaos and uncertainty, making you more reliant on them for guidance or protection. They create the problem so they can later sell you the solution. Are they rushing you? The goal is to bypass your cognitive faculties, to force you to decide with emotion rather than logic. Pressure is the enemy of clear thought. So you must ask, what do they gain from my hurried consent? What part of this deal falls apart if I have time to think? Second, what emotional state are they trying to manufacture within me? We have journeyed far together. We have descended into the shadows and returned, armed with knowledge. But knowledge is not static. It breathes. It evolves through questioning. This next chapter is our dialogue. These are the questions that arise in the mind of someone who has just seen the hidden architecture of human influence. Let us answer them, not with simplicity, but with the depth they deserve. First and most poignant, after learning all this, how do I not become paranoid? How do I trust anyone again? This is the fundamental crisis of awakening. The fear is that this knowledge will poison every interaction, that you will see a manipulator in every smile, a hidden agenda in every kindness. But I tell you this, the goal is not to live in a state of suspicion. The goal is to live in a state of discernment. Paranoia is a fear-based reaction, a blanket assumption of malice. Discernment is a wisdom-based process. It is the ability to observe, to assess, and to choose where to place your trust wisely. Think of it like learning medicine. A doctor learns about thousands of diseases, but this knowledge does not make them believe every patient is terminally ill. Instead, it allows them to accurately diagnose the sick and confirm the health of the well. Your knowledge of dark psychology is now your diagnostic tool. It allows you to recognize the symptoms of manipulation so you can protect yourself from the unwell dynamics. But it also, and this is crucial, allows you to recognize the vibrant health of a genuine relationship. You will learn to trust not blindly, but because the other person has consistently earned it through respect for your boundaries, the integrity of their words, and the absence of manipulative patterns. This is a trust that is stronger, more resilient, and more valuable than naive trust could ever be.
هل تعرف أن أقوى ضربة نفسية هي ألا تفعل شيئا؟ سألني أحدهم: كيف تجعل الناس يفقدون أعصابهم دون أن تلمسهم؟ ضحكت وقلت: السر في الصمت. اصمت في اللحظة التي ينتظرون فيها ردك. عقولهم تبدأ في صنع ردود مكانك، ويغرقون في حرب داخلية لم تبدأها أنت أصلا. المجتمع يراك هادئا وراقيا، وهم ينهارون من الداخل. الخلاصة: هل جربتها أنت أم جربت عليك؟